We're in Arizona talking with Mike. Mike, you're with Allworth's Money Matters.
Hello, Scott and Pat. This is Mike.
Hi, Mike.
Got a question for you concerning conventional or traditional IRA converting to a possible Roth down the road.
All righty.
Okay, can I give you some numbers
Please.
here? I'm 70. My wife is 63. Our income right now is about $62K a year. That comes from Social Security, pensions. We can live pretty well on that $62K a year. The taxes on that are very minimal because the majority of it is the majority of that income is from Social Security, and so the taxes are very low in general. We have about $1 million in a traditional IRA. We have a little bit and in a Roth IRA. So looking down the road,
Mike, 1 second. How much money do you have in brokerage or cash
or savings? Yeah.
Okay, the brokerage account is almost everything is in a brokerage account. Between the Roth and the traditional, we have about $1 million in the two sums together.
Okay.
Of that, about $950 is in the traditional, and about $30,000 is in a Roth IRA.
And do you have any money outside of IRAs, like individual stocks, bonds, mutual funds,
cash, savings,
savings accounts? That's what we're
not really at this point. We're living life pretty close to that $62K a year.
Okay.
But we haven't had to hit the IRA yet. We've been able to make it this far without hitting it.
Okay.
So I'm looking down the road at 73 and trying to determine with our tax base, we think we can stay within the 12% income, even if we take $40,000 a year from the IRA in 3 years or more. We think we can stay within that 12% tax base without being penalized much. What would you say to that?
Is your wife on Social Security now as well?
Yes, she gets a spousal, and she has a pension. So, yeah, that $62K a year is our total income.
You can't really do a Roth conversion.
What do you mean?
Well, you could do a Roth conversion. Yeah, you'd use the money from the IRA to pay the tax on it.
But I get what you're looking at. Like, I run the numbers. Several years down the road, I'm still in the lower tax bracket.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Well, unless
there's no need to worry about converting.
It could be that 15 years down the road, but that's a long time from now.
Tax laws change, or
that's right.
I wouldn't do a thing.
No, I don't think I would either.
Keep it as it is.
Yeah. You're
You're prepaying a tax liability.
Yeah, we're close enough. We don't know exactly what's going to happen.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
so keep it as it is.
I'll argue both sides if you want.
I mean, if it was $2 million, we would say do some conversion.
100%.
If it was $500,000, we'd say absolutely don't do anything.
But it's where you're at today. I could argue both sides, and the chances are, I'm right 50% of the time. Depends on what the account balance does, right? Depends on what the tax tables do. I think it would be just an exercise. It's not it. Would it move you ahead? Maybe. Would it put you behind? Probably not. I wouldn't worry about it.
Nope, I wouldn't either.
Okay. Good,
and by the way, if you were going to do anything, take it. You could say, let's take $10,000 a year out of it, or 15 grand out of it.
Let's talk, Scott. Let's talk. About
I mean,
this.
unless the plan is to leave these, you're trying to have as much money in your account when you die.
This is the conversation we should be having, which is, you said, this is what you said. We're living on the edge with what our income is now. Is that not what you said?
That's correct. In other words, we can be over a couple thousand, under a few thousand every year, but for the last 4 years, staying within that 60 to 62K a year is pretty much where we are.
Oh, no, understand that. I would start a distribution out of this account for $1,200 a month, withholding 20% in taxes, and call it a day.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could easily take 20, 25, 30, 35 grand a year out of this.
Yeah. But
Before you get to RMDs, just go ahead and hit it now.
And just spend it.
Spend it.
Look, so Pat and I had lunch today, just before we came in the studio here, and had a discussion about this a friend that we've both known for 25 years, longer.
Okay.
And his wife has a pretty significant health issue. He's of retirement age.
And? He
actually kind of retired for a while, went back to work because she can't travel anywhere. Her quality of life is...
The retirement dream was... Right?
And it's just as we're having lunch, it's like you kind of never know what tomorrow brings. You're 70, your wife's 63, presuming that you're still in decent health.
And Scott said $25,000 a year, you could start the distribution. I cut that number in half and said $1,200 a month. But I'd be comfortable going up to $25,000 a year.
Or more.
Or more.
Okay.
I mean, even if you took 4%, I could be comfortable with that.
I'm 100% comfortable with it. But let's start with a number and see how he does, Scott. So let's do this.
$2,000 a month.
$2,000 a month. So,
I mean, someone's going to spend it's either you spend it in your lifetime, or someone else will.
I assume that it's being responsibly managed in a portfolio that's hopefully well diversified.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
For a long time, and so the goal was to make it to 68, 69 without touching it. And now I'm beyond that.
Yeah.
So, but the RMDs, our tax bracket, the way the tax professionals net it down, we pay virtually no taxes.
That's right. You'll pay a little taxes on this.
You'll pay a little taxes on it, but yeah, go ahead and start a distribution of $3,300 a month. Withhold the taxes, spend it, go to dinner.
Yeah, have a nice date once a month.
Hit the Red Lobster before they close them all down.
We can't eat any more lobster. Okay.
All righty. Enjoy.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you, Mike. You know what I appreciate about Mike's call? Just look at their income. My guess is they had probably his entire life pretty moderate means, and saves $1 million.
That's right. Yeah. Look, for many people in America, your retirement is stored labor. That's what your income represents. It is stored labor. People think it's the markets that make money. For some people, it is. For some people, it is, right? People that start their own companies, people that are lucky enough to end up at a company that does well, that run into some wealth. Sometimes it's inherited. But for the vast portion of retirees in the United States that are living middle class or above lifestyles, it is stored labor. And how do you store your labor? Well, 100 years ago, you'd have a bunch of kids and hopefully some land, and it would stay in the family generation after generation, right? But people didn't live that long. You look at my great-grandfather, he lived with my grandparents. They lived there, right? Now, what do? You put money in your 401k, your IRA, you invest it in different places, and hopefully you do it responsibly in a diversified portfolio. And it's how you store your labor. And at some point in time, it is okay for you to actually spend that stored labor.
And oftentimes the people that are good savers are the ones that have the most difficult time.
Most difficult time.
Yeah.